The first unpopular opinion is that you have Okay. What's up everyone, it's your girl Njerie Gitau here. For those who are new to the channel, welcome, karibuni. Feel free to take a seat and hit that subscribe button so that you can become a part of the family. For those who are back for the second, third or even umpteenth time, then welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a follow-up, and so we are going to be doing part 2 of the Scopa Humana Unpopular Opinion Natural Hair Edition. And I suggest that we just jump straight into the video. The first unpopular opinion is that you don't have to braid your hair for it to grow. I suspect that this is mostly a Kenyan thing because growing up it was like when you braided your hair, when you have like a protective style in, it automatically means that when you undo it your hair will be so long, and we grew up believing that, and at the end of the day that's also something that we have carried on to like later on in our lives. But for natural hair, the protective styles, yes, they help in length retention, but they don't necessarily cause your hair to grow. What they do is provide an environment for you to like manipulate your hair less, and that also makes length retention pretty much easier than if you had your hair open. On the other hand, you can still grow out your hair and retain length even when it's not braided, because there are other protective styles that you can actually do. There are twists, there are flat twists, like with your own hair without having to use any extensions. However, hair does not grow because of the style that it is put in. It grows because of the like healthy conditions that you have placed it in for it to be able to grow. That means you have to have moisture, that means you have to seal in that moisture, that means that you need to keep your scalp healthy, and so on and so forth. The second unpopular opinion is that the wash and go is one of the most involving and taxing hairstyles like ever. This is the reason. When you hear the wash and go, you assume that you're going to wash your hair and just go, you know? But in the real sense, what is referred to as the wash and go is the wash, use a whole bunch of gel or styling products to define your curls, rake it in section by section, ensure that all your curls are defined like in the different sections of your head, and then dry it. Of which, drying it, if you don't have either a diffuser or a hooded dryer or even a blow dryer, it takes... The first time I tried that thing, it took like, I think 2 days. 2 days, like I was walking around town like a mad woman with like just wet hair that is, you know, and I'm like, imagine it's not necessary. And in the words of Kenyans,
see a must, by the way, honestly.
But that's the thing, the wash and go is one of the most involving and taxing hairstyles, but we can actually choose to say that the wash and go that we refer to is like washing and just going. But all the same, if you like wash and goes, I'm not coming at you. I'm planning to try and do one soon, but I'm just saying that it should not be presented in a way that, oh, this is the easiest, you wash and you go. No, we should like give it another name so that we are not out here misrepresenting their hairstyle, and so that everyone can know what to expect when they plan to do a wash and go. Ama niaje? The third unpopular opinion is that natural hair should not be put in a box. Now, I understand the need to sort of classify and define some things about natural hair that makes it easier for people to relate or to understand or to find products etc. that work for them. But if you checked out the Scopa Humana Natural Hair Edition, the unpopular opinions, the first one, I sort of tackled the curl pattern and etc. and curl pattern worship and discrimination. But for this particular one, I mean that we should not try and say that if hair is dyed, then it is not natural. If hair is I don't know what, then it is not natural. I mean, even locks, like dreadlocks, should be classified and qualified as natural hair and widely accepted as natural hair because it's not been chemically processed, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, if someone went and decided to undo their locks like Yami Mami did the other day, then I mean, you actually see that underneath that locked hair is natural hair. So we need to stop putting natural hair in a box and let it just thrive and be whatever it wants to be, so that we are not locking out people who might have some unique characteristics about their hair that doesn't necessarily fall into what we have already defined. So let the natural hair just be out here and do whatever it wants and be whatever it wants, as long as it's not, what do you call it? Sisi, we say as long as it's not relaxed. So I will go with that, as long as it is not relaxed. The fourth unpopular opinion is that you don't have to lay your edges. Aki imagine see a must. Aki imagine see a must. See a must. You know, there's this sort of belief that your look is incomplete if you haven't laid your edges, and we forget how much goes into laying edges, especially if your hair is like for C, for I don't know, Z, you know, that spectrum, where you apply so much gel uku that you look like, I don't even know, like you look like you work in a Vaseline factory because of the amount of gel you have. And then you ngangana there to put the shapes, you know, and then that thing doesn't even lay, as in it looks at you like, it's like madharau, you know? So it doesn't lay, and sometimes you actually leave the house with your edges laid. Ooh! By the time you get to the door, like the gate, it's like you did nothing. They're just out here, sijui zikiinuka maze. So it's like, well, okay, what did we do? What did we waste time trying to do? And we need to stop trying to mimic baby hair if we actually don't have it. The other thing is most of the edge control and gel, usually they have alcohol, and you'll find that that's actually detrimental to your hairline. It'll dry it out, it will make it easier to break. So you'll find you might have a receding hairline, and that's actually because of how much gel you use trying to lay your edges. So in short, me, I'm preaching the gospel of imagine you don't have to lay your edges, just do you, boo-boo. But if you actually want to lay your edges, then, you know, go ahead, as in no one is stopping you. We're not saying it's bad, we're just saying that it shouldn't be viewed as you have an incomplete look if your edges are not laid or snatched to the gods. The fifth and last unpopular opinion for this particular video, number 2, is that shrinkage is actually beautiful. I remember when I had heat damage and my hair did not shrink. Like, it was so sad. My curls never bounced back. It was like constantly almost straight. I realized that to some people that might sound like a good thing, but for me it was not enjoyable. And then I had like 3
hairs on my head.
And I think I keep telling that story, and I'll link the video, the Q&A that I did over here, where you can get to hear more about that. So now that my hair shrinks, I feel like it is such a blessing. It's an indicator that my hair is healthy. It's an indicator that it's moisturized. You know, like it's an indicator of very many things. And I like that that shrinkage is not only a signal of how healthy my hair is, but sometimes I just don't want my hair like hanging down here. I just want it off my shoulders, off my collar, because if you have natural hair and it's long, you know how your collars can suffer. Like, they get super dirty, which means you have to wash them. If you wash by hand, not by machine, if like you wash them, you have to like sugua them harder, which means that zinaisha more, which lessens the time duration that you can wear your tops and blouses for. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, so it's beautiful, and I think we need to embrace it more. We have chased what is that? But we have chased length so much that sometimes even when you see shrinkage, it's like, ooh, it's not such a good thing. If I see your hair shrunk, then I'm thinking, so you'd have stretched it, it would have looked better, you know, whatever. But basically, I'm just saying, let's embrace shrinkage more, because it is beautiful and it is a good thing. It doesn't need to be like the devil that we are trying to avoid, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, I also need to mention that for certain hair types, because of how easily they tangle, it's also good to stretch the hair. Shrinkage is beautiful, but to ensure that you don't have single strand knots and not of breakage, it might also be necessary for you to stretch your hair. So I'm not saying don't stretch your hair, I'm saying you can stretch your hair, but let's agree that shrinkage is beautiful. So those are the 5 unpopular opinions, natural hair edition, that I was going to share in this video, which is number 2. If you haven't checked out the number 1 video that set us off on this track, yeah, you can check it out. I'll leave it in the description box below, and I'll be sure to do subsequent videos, number 3 and 4, somewhere in the near future. Keep dropping those unpopular opinions in the comment section down below, and as well as on my socials. Yeah. If you've gotten to this part of the video, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, let them know these unpopular opinions, or even that friend who usually sings this song but no one listens to them. Like, tell them, there's someone who feels you, my friend, there's someone who feels you. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get alerts whenever I drop new videos. Now, I've really tried to make this video as short as possible without like rambling. So feel free to let me know how I did in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself, learned a thing or 2, or related to a thing or 3, and I will see you in the next one.